And welcome back, YouTube. This is Booster Box Buster here with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a review of Hoggy 2 for the Nintendo Switch Entertainment System available on the Nintendo Switch eShop. Developed and published by the same company, that company being RapidSoft, Hoggy 2 is a super adorable puzzle platformer. The story goes like this. One day, Hoggy and Hogitha are at the park with their family, when all of a sudden, boom! Moonmen appear out of nowhere, kidnap your children, and lock Hoggy and Hogitha in an underground labyrinth. And it is up to you, Hoggy and Hogitha, to rescue your children, defeat the Moonmen, and return peace to the land. You do this by solving puzzles that are jammed into jars, eating all the fruit available in the puzzle, and collecting a magical key that forms out of thin air after eating all that fruit. You use those keys to open doors and progress to the end of the game. Now, in those jars, you can also find secret stars that will unlock certain doors that'll lead you to even harder challenges in the game in the future. Now, something to note about this game has some of the easiest controls you're ever going to find. Literally, you move with the left joystick and you hit A to jump. That's all the controls are, that's all you have to do. So as far as learning controls, this is probably one of the easiest games to learn, although the brain-bending puzzles may not be so easy. Now, of course, being a slime creature, you're able to jump onto the ceiling and stick there, and that is super adorable. However, Hoggy and Hogitha have the smarts to not fall off an edge. She's like, oh, I'm not going to fall off an edge. That's going to hurt. See? Very smart. Even though they're a slime creature, I don't think it's going to hurt them too much, and sometimes it's an inconvenience because a lot of puzzles could be easily solved if you could just walk straight off an edge. I can understand it being a puzzle gimmick. Now, of course, when you enter these jars, you're going to be greeted with a variety of puzzles. Some are going to be super easy, others are going to be take a bite out of your controller hard. This one is obviously super easy. You're probably not going to die on the first few puzzles. It's just not going to happen for most people. Now, of course, as you progress throughout the game, you will gain, or the game will give you more options. Certain vegetables will do certain effects to Hoggy and Hogitha. For instance, you'll learn that the mushroom will summon 1 or 2 doppelgangers, depending on the level. You will learn that the jalapeno will set Hoggy or Hogitha on literal fire and destroy almost anything in their way, including fruit. And if you destroy fruit with it, you have to restart the stage or restart from the checkpoint because, well, you have to eat all the fruit, and destroying 1 fruit does not count as eating it. And you can also run into the acorn that'll turn Hoggy and Hogitha into a Tap-Tap from Yoshi's Island. However, all things are not to Hoggy and Hogitha's advantage, as you will find out. There are something called death blocks, which if you or an enemy touches it, will instantly splat Hoggy or Hogitha. Like, you will instantly lose and have to restart from either the checkpoint or the stage's beginning. And there's also the nuke. The nuke, if summoned and not properly disposed of in time, will literally destroy everything on the stage, including you. So, the nuke and the death block are to be avoided at all cost. Now, one thing that's really, really awesome about this game is, for the money, this game contains a ton, and I mean a ton of content, with over 200 stages to work your way through. This game contains a lot of playtime, and with varying degrees of difficulty, like these stages that I just performed here, which are mind-numbingly easy, to stages, like I said, that you'll just want to chuck your controller all the way across the room, take it again, hit it with the hammer, take it again, throw it into the incinerator. You will have hours upon hours of fun and frustration. I will say, I love the art style, the enemies are super cute, and the main characters are even cuter. Honestly, it's some of the cutest game characters I've seen since Woodle Tree Adventures, and that's saying a lot. Now, with all these good things going for it, there are a couple of downsides. The music, while not bad, it's not great either. It gets you in the mind-numbing puzzle mood, which is, I guess, what you want to be in. It's just that. Honestly, I just turn the music low and play the game as is, where I could hear the music just faintly, and I could just mainly focus on the puzzles. The biggest gripe of this game, however, is the final 3 bosses. Yes, 3 bosses. The first time you play the bosses, if you do it blind without seeing any video footage of it, it'll probably take you a minimal half hour to beat each boss, upwards of an hour to beat each boss, which is a long time for one boss, because it's a gauntlet. You have to go through about 10 to 12 separate puzzles to deal enough damage to the boss. And it is so grueling. Especially since one of those bosses, if you fail to deal damage on the first attempt, you have to restart the whole boss fight, because the boss gets glitched, and he will not receive any damage for the rest of the fight. And I don't know why that is, but it happens. Literally, because he's floating in the air, and it's like if you miss him the first time, he goes just like a hair lower, and the game literally soft locks until you restart the fight. And that is annoying. Especially if you're playing it the first time, you're like, well, why? You think that... I was afraid I was going to have to restart the game, but thankfully I just had to restart the boss fight. It's still annoying because it's like an hour-long, or half-hour to hour-long boss fight, but it is what it is. So, overall... before I go to the overall, I will mention one other thing. You can play as Hoggy or Hogitha. I'm playing as Hogitha right now. And the way you switch is super adorable. You switch by kissing your loved one. and that is adorable. My loved one is at the end of the game right now, because this is my beat the game save file, so unfortunately I had to walk all the way to the end, and that is the only other big gripe that I have with this game, is there's no fast travel. You have to traverse the entire overworld if you want to get to a certain... Like, if I wanted to get all the way back to the beginning, I have to walk all the way back to the beginning. I can't just... okay, fast travel there. That's another minor annoyance. Okay, now let's go to the end. With all that said, given the game's super, super adorable graphics, plentiful of challenge and levels, uneven difficulty, which, to be fair, puzzles, it's gonna come either natural or annoying to some people, so that's a given. And just easy to learn controls. A couple of drawbacks, like I said, the grueling gauntlet of a final boss, the minor annoyance of no fast travel, and very mediocre music. I say that this game is definitely worth your time if you enjoy puzzles. If you do not enjoy puzzles, avoid this game like the plague, because this game is just puzzles and jumping. Puzzles and jumping, the game with cute graphics. With that said, I'm ready to give my official verdict on this game. It's good, not great. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, final verdict. This has been Booster Max Buster with a full game review of the game Hoggy 2 and the Electric Boogaloo for the Nintendo Switch Entertainment System. Signing out.